Was the game plan to get off to a 10-0 start in a game like this?
Maybe 6. I don't think 10 we had it in us. We really preached confidence to the kids. We thought in the Lake Region game we weren't very confident. And this game, the kids just go out, make plays, do your thing. Win or lose, but at least win or lose doing your job and go down fighting. And so the kids, I thought that the Lake Region hump was tough because they're a conference foe. They're a big rival to us. And this game wasn't as much of that. Southern Lincoln Academy had played in the season, but we weren't, we went on at each other all the time, everything. So the kids could just go and play their game, and I thought they did a wonderful job doing that.
When you lost the Lincoln Academy, it was a game in the 30s. It seemed like all your losses were in the 30s. How big was it getting 13 points so quickly?
We thought the game would be in the 30s. And, to get out 10-0, we thought was such a nice jump. In fact, we were at 24 at halftime. We thought if we could get 15 or 16 more to get to 40, then we'd be okay. But we came on the second half. We were a little tight. We didn't score, but like 3 points for a while. But they'd only scored 2 or 3. I think we won the third quarter 5-3. So our defense bailed us out when our offense wasn't great in the third quarter. But the defense was bailed us out all year. We've been very good defensively. Kind of under, we were under the radar defensively. We held them to 30 points. I mean, Lake Region was 47 with an overtime, so we're not giving up a lot of points, and I think we do a good job with that.
You call a timeout with 2 minutes into the second half. What'd you tell them?
Well, we need to settle down. We were basically just, we were playing like we were taking the air out of the ball, and we need to keep playing. There was still 15 minutes to go in the game. And what we did say, though, was when they were sitting back in that zone, we were just trying to attack the zone. It's like, if you're going to sit in the zone and we have an 8-point lead, make them come out and play us. So we said, let's make them come on and play a little bit of man-to-man, which they ended up doing, and then we could attack offensively. So,
like I said in that third quarter, give up 3 points. The whole tournament, 8 points, 5 points, 3 points. Third quarter defense. Was
that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's interesting. The third quarter, because we said. We wanted to win the third quarter. In fact, we looked at Lincoln Academy's biography. Their second quarter was a big quarter all year. So we said we have to win the second quarter, which we did, I think, because we were up 6 after 1, and it was 8.5. Then I said the third quarter was really key because I said if they get back to within 3 or 4 points, it's a dogfight. If this game's 12 points going in the fourth quarter, I think we're in okay shape. We're up 10. And that's hard to come back 10 on somebody, especially in a championship game, because the teams are not so far apart, and there's a 10-point differential. So that third quarter defensively, that's where I think we won the game, was the third quarter's defense.
Grace, those last 3 quarters, especially the whole second half, you're making those free throws. How big was it, her being a more veteran player stepping up?
She's been through it before. I remember a year ago, she was in a game where we were out at a visiting game and the crowd was on her, and she missed some foul shots, and so she kind of kept that in the back of her mind and said, I need to step up the line, because I think that we learn more from failure than we do from success, so that our failures over the past will hopefully lend themselves today to our success.
Wagered a big game for them, very deserving Lorenzo Award winner. How tough is she to stop?
She's, what's even better about Bree is that she's a class act too. I mean, when they lost the game going through the crowd, she wasn't this woe is me type of thing. She congratulated us, kept her head held high, and she was that good. I mean, really, the book on her was make her beat you from the outside. Well, she beat us from the outside. That was one where we wanted to stop her penetration, but allow her the outside, and she got us there. Luckily for us, the other kids didn't kill us. We were able to close out the other 3-point shooters, and that was big for us. I don't know how many points she had, but I'm going to bet it was in the teens and probably the high teens. So one kid can't beat you. And that's what's nice about our team is not one kid's going to do it. In fact, with Bree winning it, I looked at our group and I said, I don't know who I would give that award to on my team because we're just so consistent. The last game was 2 kids. The game before that was 2 kids. And I think that's what's hard to guard about us. I really think that you say, okay, let's take Conley away. There's still Cariotis. You take her away. There's still Dumont. You take her away. There's still Camaro. I mean, we have a lot of parts. And as long as some of them are working well, I think we'll be okay.
The girls don't really know much about the last, regional final team for Gray, but what do you remember about those teams?
I was at the school then. I remember I had those kids in class. Dawn Ross, Josie Daniele, Katie Whittier, Sarah DeLuca. Sarah was on the first team. And I remember those kids were like godlike status. And those kids in school were all that. And I hope now that my kids, the little kids in the community, have that same stature, if you will, because they've really worked hard. And you don't realize at the time, as you look at kids like Katie Whittier, who went on to play at University of Maine, and you look at some of these kids, you say, wow, they were just so good. Well, our kids were pretty good too. Our kids did a good job, and collectively, I think they bought in. They played the system. They didn't worry about their own points or their own recognition. They worried about the team thing, and this was all about them today. I'd like to say our game plan was great. I don't think our game plan was anything that any other game wasn't. The kids went out, they executed, they made plays, and they played with confidence. And I think if kids do that, they stand a better chance of not of winning.